Hello there. I'm Scotty. Welcome back. I'm Scotty. You're not. Welcome back. Hello there. Welcome to the Wrestling Corner, where we talk all things wrestling. I'm Scotty. You're not. And I decided to do some bonus reviews here and there. So you're gonna hear me. This is gonna be up there on the. What is it? The third, fifth, the fifth. This will be up on the 5th, live on the 5th of February. You're going to hear me talk about My Bloody Valentine. I was going to revisit the original one, and I watched it, and I just couldn't get into it. So maybe by the time that's come around, I've rewatched it and got into it and did the review. But as of right now, as you're watching this, on the 6th, the 5th, of February, this being recorded towards the end of January. I have not done that yet. But anyway, I decided to do some WWE pay-per-view reviews, some Wrestling Corner reviews that coincide with when I got back into wrestling. So as you guys might know, I was in the WCW back in the mid to late 90s. Then the Finger Boca Doom happened, and we stopped watching until the very last episode of Nitro. Yeah, we saw that shit go down. And then it wasn't until I went to high school and I met a friend of mine named Juan. He got me back into wrestling. Yeah. In WWE, which I was always a WCW guy. I had a few little metal figures, but I pretended they were WCW figures, like Mankind, that was Hugh Morris. I had The Undertaker, that was Kevin Nash. I had Triple H, that was Scott Hall. You know, I would do that, hey, or you know, just pretend that because I was a WCW guy. So, around the time I started high school and met Juan, I said, Juan, your friend Juan robbed this bank. I said, Juan, it's a blooper from Supernatural. I gotta get the review of Supernatural, but Smallville, Doctor Who, and now Saved by the Bell, I had so much on my plate with the retrospectives, I don't know. But anyway, so during that, I wanted to catch up with some of the more recent stuff that come out. So I would rent from Cashwise in the video section WWE VHS tapes and DVDs. So the ones I'm going to talk about, 2 were VHS tape, this one and the next one. And then the third one I'm doing was a DVD. And then the fourth one I'm doing at the end of the month has nothing to do with the ones that I rented. It was just something big that happened around that time that, you know, was a big things happening. So anyway, the first one we're talking about is WWE King of the Ring 2002. This is very shortly after they changed from WWF to WWE. I don't think this was the first one. I think Judgment Day was the first one. Yeah. And we are smack dab in the middle of an era that is always been a bit confusing to me, if I'm honest. Because I think I mentioned this when I talk about the 2002 draft. When I first time I ever watched that episode, I was confused because I knew that wasn't the placement for a lot of these people. Like that Test, Lance Storm, Christian, Triple H, Chris Jericho on SmackDown, and I knew they all ended up on Raw. Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, and Big Show were on Raw. They all ended up on SmackDown. I was very confused. And so it's before they got to the SmackDown 6 era, before they got to the better stuff of that era, there's a little humdrum moment in between. And even some of this is a little confusing. But, so the King of the Ring, this was the last pay-per-view version until the most recent King and Queen of the Ring. I understand all fairness given to the women, but I don't think we needed to name the pay-per-view King and Queen of the Ring. Just call it King of the Ring I know you want to be equal and all that, but that's not tradition. Not tradition. Yeah. But yeah. And it hosted 2 semifinal matches, then the finals, but also a cruiserweight title match, a random. These were all one-on-one matches, by the way. Every single match on this pay-per-view is a one-on-one match. There's no tag team matches. There's no triple threat, no fatal four-way, nothing. And they're all pretty much one-on-one regular matches with some shenanigans in some of these. Yeah. I've also written down the match time so you see that ones that feel the longest. So we start with Chris Jericho versus RVD. We are shown that, at least, I thought at least for these matches, that JR and the King are going to be our commentary team, of course. And Chris Jericho and RVD. And this went 14 minutes, 31 seconds. And it's a decent match. These were both great competitors. At one point, Chris Jericho was a roll-up attempt. It doesn't work. The walls doesn't work. I really don't remember much about this match. I know that RVD hit the frog splash to win. That's it. And then Chris Jericho attacked him after the match, which they don't bring up again when it's time for the match. They don't. At least I don't remember the reference. Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar are in the back, and Lesnar is like, "You're going to win, and you're going to become undisputed champion, and you're gonna do it." And yeah, Test versus Brock Lesnar is next. And I was looking at the brackets, and this is a SmackDown and Raw tournament, and I'm kind of disappointed at how they did this, because you had the whole thing. You could do it SmackDown versus Raw. You could do something big. You know, you could have done this. You could have one side SmackDown doing the King of the Ring, the other side Raw. So you have the Raw general manager backing the Raw guys, SmackDown general manager backing the SmackDown guy, right? Then you get to the finals. And you could be Chris Jericho versus Brock Lesnar. And you got the SmackDown general manager, who at this time, was the Stephanie yet? Or was it still Vince? Whatever. And then you have Ric Flair. I think Ric Flair. Or is it Eric Bischoff? I don't know yet. But Test versus Brock Lesnar went 8 minutes, 12 seconds. And this was a decent match, but it's really all about showing how powerful Brock Lesnar is. And I believe he caught Test and hit the F5. If I'm remember hearing correctly, I was looking up stuff on Community Creations when it was working. Yeah. This Cruiserweight Championship match. What kind of cock-it-made-me storyline? So, the Hurricane is the Cruiserweight Champion. Forgot that happened. Because he came into here as the Cruiserweight Champion, Shane Helms. And so now he's the Hurricane. Well, the Hurricane was being stalked by someone. It turns out it was Nydia, who used to date when he was Helms. He's like, no, this whole thing is over between you and me. And Jay Manomo made his debut and attacked him. They do have history, but they don't mention the WWE stuff at all. And so now we have this Cruiserweight Championship match. And to my surprise, Hurricane won. I'm surprised because I think by the time we get to... Or is it Kidman who's champion? Survivor Series, if we get there, I think it's Kidman who's champion. Maybe, I don't know. I thought Noble, I don't know. But, yeah, this was the Cruiserweights. Now, this is where I was confused. So, after the second semifinal match with Lesnar and Test, they introduced Michael Cole and Taz. We're standing at some location with the arena behind them, and they do a little talking, and they introduce the Cruiserweight Championship match, and when it cut to the match, JR and King are on commentary, and I went, wait, this is a SmackDown match. Shouldn't the SmackDown commentators be doing this match? Apparently they hadn't instituted that yet, so no. And the whole thing is here that Nydia tries to get involved, and it doesn't work, and the Hurricane is using a chokeslam, because I think the Verdict Breaker was, at least at this point, banned. This is a bit of a harsh move. But yeah, he uses a chokeslam to win. He wasn't with Kane yet, I don't think, or was he? I don't know. That's another one. He ends up going to Raw. Yeah, but I don't. Also, the graphic they show is the WCW Cruiserweight Championship. But, yeah. And this match went 11 minutes, 58 seconds. Not bad. Kind of a middle length match. But then we have Ric Flair versus Eddie Guerrero with 17 minutes. 17 minutes. And if you thought that other story. So apparently, Eddie Guerrero and Ric Flair are in a rivalry because Ric Flair said he had one more great run in him. This lasts from now to 2008, so 6 years. And so Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit, who is supposed to be on SmackDown because he was drafted on the show. I get it if you were one drafted in a supplemental, you could kind of, people might not know, but he was drafted on the draft show. Kurt Angle convinced Vince McMahon to draft Chris Benoit SmackDown. So he's apparently aiding Eddie Guerrero on Raw right now for some reason. And they're both heels, which I didn't expect. And at one point, Eddie Guerrero puts on the figure 4. Chris Benoit gets out there. And then... So, after the first semifinal match, you have interviewers going around interviewing Raw and SmackDown competitors, getting their thoughts on it. And so, Coach interviews Bubba Ray Dudley, who says, "I'm going to make an impact." Because he was on his own, really, except for Spike. Because Devon at this point was on SmackDown before that changes. I knew about the Reverend Devon stuff, but... And then they interviewed the Un-Americans. I don't think they were called that at this point. It was just Christian and Lance Storm. They're like, "Hey, it was supposed to be Chris Jericho versus Testy." Like, I mean, I'm not trying to make fun of him. Like, Christian literally at one point says A. So, like it was supposed to be them, and now it's not. It's all Raw, and it's all Americans. They hate the Canadians. And every time they say something about they hate the Canadians, you hear the fans go, "Yeah!" So, anyway, back to this match. Ric Flair and Eddie Guerrero. This was pretty good. A little long, but pretty good. And I don't remember. Flair win? Flair win? Flair. Didn't he? Or no, Eddie Guerrero won. Because Benoit got involved. Or no. No, because that Bubba Ray Dudley comes out. And while the referee is distracted, hits the Bubba Bomb on Eddie Guerrero, and Flair wins that way. They couldn't have Flair win clean. They just had to do the stupid... that's right. Trish Stratus versus Molly Holly and went 5 minutes 40 seconds. I couldn't tell you a damn thing. I know that Molly went through my go-round and landed on her ass. I know that she used the roll-up to win the Women's Championship from Trish. And that's all I can tell you. I couldn't pay attention to this. I don't know why. I was looking at the match. I don't remember a damn thing. No, I was doing this during the match. I don't remember a thing other than those 2 things. Because it was so funny that she missed and landed on her ass. And then the roll-up, I was like, oh, come on. You could never win clean. And that's a problem. Like, oh, if they have a roll-up, then it's an easy win for them, and it doesn't hurt the other superstar. But it also doesn't help the other superstar. Every time you have someone do a roll-up, it doesn't hurt the better superstar, but the other superstar, who I'm not saying is worse, but, is in need of a push, doesn't help them because they had to cheat. They had to do a roll-up to do it. Every time you have someone do a roll-up, or have someone interfere for someone, or you have them cheat to win, it's making them look lesser of a competitor and showing you that this person they are using to cheat are better than them, and these don't mean anything. You are demeaning one side while trying to help the other. And that's what this does. Kurt Angle versus Hulk Hogan went 12 minutes, 9 seconds. So, they even have a hype package for this thing. I know they just have a problem with each other. Something about who's the true American. This is when Kurt Angle, after Kurt Angle got his head shaved, but didn't want to show his bald head, so he wore a wrestling gear with a hairpiece in it. And as I was watching this, I went, oh. Because I was trying to remember looking at the card, and I was just like, why did I rent this? What was the big, a lot, all the ones I'm going to talk about have a big thing in them, I'll just go ahead and name them. Survivor Series 2002 has the first Elimination Chamber match. Bad Blood 2003, the Redneck Triathlon, Hell in a Cell, and then SummerSlam 2004, Randy Orton versus Chris Benoit. And yeah, what was this? And as I'm watching this match, I remembered this is where Hogan puts on the hairpiece and does this. That's what I remember. And this match is stupid. So I'm no Hogan fan. I certainly respect what he has done for this business. But even I think this finish is fucking stupid. Okay? Because they have a pretty decent match for 12 minutes and 9 seconds. But at one point, Kurt Angle kept saying he's going to make him tap. So Kurt Angle at one point gets the wig pulled off of him. He's like, no, I'm done. He starts walking away. Then Hogan puts it on and starts to do the thing. And he gets all pissed and comes in. And they have a little scuffle. And he keeps trying to put the ankle lock on him. And Hogan tries to reach for the ropes. At one point, Hogan is all the way in the fucking ropes. I mean, completely. The referee should have called for Angle to drop the hold, but he doesn't. And Angle pulls him back away from the ropes. And Hogan taps. And I'm like, no, bullshit. He was in those ropes for like 30 seconds before he got pulled away. Maybe not 30 seconds, but 10 to 15 to 20 seconds. He was in there for a little while. The referee he was in the ropes. Not just hand on the ropes. All the way in the ropes. His body was in the ropes. The referee should have broke the submission. I know that's not how the match was supposed to go. But it's called calling it on the fly, right? It's called calling it on the fly. This should have been broken. I don't care what you had planned. Have him break it, and then have Angle put it on again and make him tap. I'm not saying Hogan had to win. I'm just saying that they should have broken the submission because he was all the way in the fucking ropes. And all this, I don't know. Then we get in the back. So they said earlier, so this is where I got confused at first. Because I knew what was going on at SummerSlam, and I forgot there was another pay-per-view in between. So earlier on, they said, oh, The Rock is here. What's The Rock doing here? I'm like, well, he's the undisputed champion. He's putting his title on the line. Duh. Like, I don't know. Maybe he has interest in the WWE Undisputed Championship match tonight. I'm like, well, yeah, he's in it. Wait, huh? So I had to look it up because I thought he was in the match, right? He's defending against Triple H. No, it's Undertaker versus Triple H. Or he's going for the title against the Undertaker or something. I thought it was him versus Undertaker, I thought. No, because I realized this was Undertaker versus Triple H. And again, I totally forgot about this. We'll get to that clusterfuck of a match. But no, and I mentioned that because here, and it was kind of funny. So Booker T's in there in the locker room. He's going to take a drink of water, right? He's like this. He's like, sees Goldust. Before he can even say anything, Goldust goes, puts his hand on his face and goes, if you smell what The Rock is cooking. He's dressed like The Rock. I just laugh because he's just like, Booker T's like, he's like, you ain't The Rock, man. What you doing, Goldie? The Rock does show up, and he's because Goldust keeps going, stop touching yourself. The Rock does not want to see you touch yourself. The Rock is better than or what was it, like the Undisputed Champion is better than The Rock Bottom. It's better than Spin Rooney. It's better than Spin Rooney. It's better than... What the hell do you do? The Rock basically running him down, and then the Goldust tries to do if you smell, and The Rock's like, if you smell what The Rock is cooking. Well, I think Goldust goes, finally, The Rock has come back, whatever. And then he tries to do Booker T's. Now, can you dig it? Can you dig that, sucker? Yeah, that. Yeah. The finals of the King of the Ring tournament: Brock Lesnar versus RVD. I admit I was making supper at this point, but I was listening to what was going on. Oh, I was washing dishes. Is what I was doing. I was listening to what was going on, and yeah, Brock Lesnar wins. Maybe this is the one. I think this was the one where he caught him. I think Test versus Brock Lesnar was just a regular match. I think this was the one where RVD went up top for a frog splash and Brock caught him and hit him for with the F5. I think that's what it was. I think I confused it. So if you're typing in the comments from before, actually, I figured it out. But yeah, Brock Lesnar's going to SummerSlam, and we still have Vengeance left in between this. I don't know. It's always confusing. So now, Undertaker versus Triple H. I mentioned that match went 5 minutes 43 seconds. Undertaker versus Triple H for the WWE Undisputed Championship. This match went 23 minutes. I saw that length and I went, oh no. Oh God. Why does Triple H think he has to be why does Triple H think all his matches have to be over 20 minutes? He never learns. Oh. And whatever I was expecting, it was much worse. It's such a clusterfuck. Only one more thing could have made it way better booked than it was. Oh my God. So the first half of this match is a standard wrestling match with The Undertaker and Triple H, which is not bad. And then Paul Heyman comes out and gets on commentary. And he starts making claims like, oh, Brock Lesnar went to The Rock in the locker room and he punched The Rock in the face, and The Rock had to get into people's car and get on people's highway and get the hell out of here. And I'm like, oh, good God. This is where everything goes kablooey. So at one point, The Rock comes out, and he chases Heyman away, sits at commentary, starts talking. The referee, Earl Hebner, gets knocked down, because it's Earl Hebner, so he is the Brian Tran of this era. Hebner was in a match, screwy stuff was going to happen. So Hebner gets knocked out, and so then during this part, The Undertaker just boots The Rock in the face at ringside. Okay, so first of all, they are already pushing The Rock and Brock rivalry with everything that Heyman was saying on commentary about Brock punching The Rock and all that, and then The Rock comes out. First of all, Brock Lesnar did not punch The Rock. The Rock did not go on people's highway. If The Rock saw Brock Lesnar, he'd shake his hand, because that's the kind of guy The Rock is. And I'm just like, they're already promoting this match, and neither of them, like, The Rock's not even the champion yet, and they're already booking this rivalry between the two. Way too early. Not only that, Triple H is a third wheel in this whole thing, because when The Undertaker boots The Rock, that then signals The Rock to start attacking The Undertaker. And he only hits Triple H because Undertaker moves out of the way. He hits him with a steel chair. Yeah. Triple H is such a third wheel. By the way, I forgot to mention, on the way to this match, Triple H bumps into Shawn Michaels, or the NWO. Shawn Michaels, dressed in his gear with the little pancake hat backwards and the NWO t-shirt, and Kevin Nash is there with a shirt that just has a number 4 on it. I know, for life, but that's fucking stupid. No, that you're not telling me anyone thought that was a good idea. It's like a white box, like the NWO logo box type thing, and a 4 in the middle. The one that goes like this. Hold on. That 4. I'm just like, who the hell thought that was a good shirt? Vince McMahon. But who? No, you're not convincing anyone of that. No. And then like he says hi to he shakes their hands, he hugs everyone, he hugs X-Pac, and I like how Victor's just like, what's up, man? And he's like, hey, you need us. Just throw up. Too sweet. He doesn't. I was waiting to see if that happens. I didn't remember that happening, but no, because at this point, and everything has happened, The Undertaker gets him back in the ring, hits the last ride, and another referee comes out, but Triple H kicks out. I'm like, this can't be the end. No, oh no, we're not done by a long shot. So then, Undertaker, or maybe Triple H hits the pedigree. One of them, whoever it was, attacks that referee and knocks him out. Then they start fighting again. They had the chair. Was this? No. Oh. There was a chair involved in the Kurt Angle match where he hits himself in the heat. I never understand why that's not a disqualification. I know he's hitting himself by accident, but it was still an illegal shot. How are you going to justify whose side it is? Well, I don't know. I guess. You could say that Kurt Angle disqualified himself because he used the weapon on himself. He was going to use the weapon on Hulk Hogan, so I don't know. But here, weapons abound, and then eventually The Undertaker hits the last ride again, and he wins. But we're not done, because The Rock comes back out, and Undertaker is like pointing at him, come on. And so they come out, they have fighting back and forth, and like The Rock goes into people's elbow, and you can see Triple H in the background trying to get out of the way. And he hits people's elbow, then Triple H gets up, hits him with a pedigree. The Undertaker's back up, hits him with the last ride. And I said, okay, all we need is for Brock Lesnar to get back up and hit. And F5. To get back out there and hit F5. But they don't. No, but it's funny because they play the music each time. The Rock hits the rock bottom. They don't play his music. Then Triple H hits the pedigree. You start playing Time to Talk About the Game. And now you play it. The Undertaker hits the last right or the choke slam or something. And then you hear his music. Which, by the way, was the You're Gonna Pay, but without the lyrics at this point. Whatever. Oh, and by the way, Hulk Hogan comes out to the shitty network dub of Voodoo Child. I don't know why they didn't just dub in Real American. I know it's because, I guess it's probably because the whole storyline of when he teams with Edge and he comes back with Real American. I don't know. But yeah, so this, I don't know, is the only, so I realized the only thing memorable about this that I remember is Hogan with the wig, because yeah, otherwise I don't know, I really don't know. I don't know. This is from an era before it started to get better. They realized they need to switch some things around. I'm glad they did. I don't know. As I think if they kept it this way, the brand split would be dead. Deader than it is now. Because they just can't stick to the rules. Transfer window my ass. So yeah, that's King of the Ring 2002. Yay me. That's 1 down, 3 to go. I'm sure they get better. I know they do. I've seen the other 3 more recent than this one. I haven't seen this one since I've run into VHS tape. I can't think I rented this more than twice, maybe. Gotta be only twice, because I think this is the least of the ones that I rented, and I think I know why. It's not very good. So, what are your thoughts on the King of the Ring 2002? And look how so much like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Scott, and I'll see you in the next one.